What's up, guys? Vico here, and welcome to the much less anticipated by me promise that I made in my Pixels trailer reaction video that I did a few months ago. And I said that whether I heard of the movie Pixels was going to be good or not, I was going to come into my gaming channel and give you guys my impressions of it. And Lord and behold, I just finished watching it. I found a free movie stubs. I used to, where I currently work at, I used to be a contractor. And occasionally, from time to time, they would give us free admission tickets to go watch movies. And they haven't been used for years, so I've been just kind of holding on to them. So basically, I figured if I was going to go watch a movie like Pixels, which I had no anticipation, I had no... How do I put this? I didn't have any... I really want to go see this movie, wishes. I was kind of just thinking, you know what, I'll use one of those, and that way I don't have to give anybody who was involved in this movie any money, and still be able to go watch it and still be able to give you guys what I thought. And I'm afraid I have nothing surprising to tell you, except that what I saw was actually a lot worse than I thought it was going to be. It was actually pretty surprising how bad that movie was. I'm looking at that movie and I'm going, oh my God, wow, just wow. This is your squandered potential going down the drain. And I went in there having seen reviews of the movie and having heard of the reputation the movie had. And I went into it knowing who was in it, and I went into it knowing who were the people who were acting in that movie. And I didn't think it was a Happy Madison production, and yes, it was a Happy Madison production, which leads me to not being absolutely shocked at all as to the disaster that I just witnessed. And it is quite sad. It's quite sad, actually. I really wanted to like this movie, and I didn't. And I'm going to tell you all why. But for those of you who don't know what Pixels is about, I talked about it in my video, and I'm going to be leaving a link on that video so you guys can go watch it. But the main crux is this. There is a 1982 World Championships or this video game tournament that takes place, and the character is a boy who grows up to be Adam Sandler, almost wins a arcade competition, and they take the recording of this championship and they put it in a probe and they send it off to space, and aliens intercept this message and they think it's a declaration of war, and apparently they get sent back. And I thought it was just they were going to be destroyed, but apparently it's more like a contest. The aliens challenge the human race to their own games, and if they lose 3 times, they annihilate the Earth, and if they win, they can go ahead and be safe from these aliens who've modeled their entire attack strategy based on the video games. And that's when you see the trailers, you see the Galaga ships, you see Pac-Man, you see Paperboy, you see the Joust Defender, you see Robotron, you see a whole lot of nostalgia. And that is one of the biggest problems that I have with this movie, and it is the squandering of this thing that you have in your hands, the nostalgia factor. I really was just looking at that movie and I was just going, wow, if they could have had a better story and better actors, and this wouldn't have been like having everybody be here and make it an Adam Sandler movie. Instead, this could have actually been one of the best movies in the summer. I genuinely would have agreed, and I think I would have definitely not had any problems saying that. I mean, this movie has got really impressive special effects. I mean, when there's carnage going on, it's amazing. I mean, you've seen the scenes. You've seen the Taj Mahal get blasted into pixels by the breakout paddles, and you see Pac-Man roaring through this New York City, and you see the guys going up against the centipedes. And I have to say that the special effects team and the people who made that the way the movie looks, it definitely is rather impressive to look at, and that at the same time also makes it all the more tragic to realize that you're not watching a pixel action global destruction movie, you're watching an Adam Sandler movie. And that is problem number 2. This is an Adam Sandler movie. I called it in the video, and I said it was just gonna be Adam Sandler doing the same shtick he's been doing in the last couple of movies. I said that Kevin James was going to be in this movie, being the dumb, bumbly Kevin James that somehow is the president of the United States, mind you. Let me take a sip of water. Nobody questions this. I mean, like, how does Kevin James become the president of the United States of America? I kind of wonder why. And he has no problem bringing his friend Adam Sandler to the White House. You know, a civilian. Everybody's like, cool. You know, like, let him in. Oh my God, who knows this better than anybody? Oh, let's bring him. Have him show me what this is like. And apparently the world's hope is on Adam Sandler, because he is the only person who knows about the Galaga, about Breakout, about Donkey Kong, about Pac-Man, except it becomes quite apparent that most people in this movie actually know what these things are, including in a boardroom scene where Adam is trying to explain to Kevin and the rest of his board of, you know, like generals or whatever, that this is following a pattern from a version of a game, and he knows the patterns. And apparently, well, from there we get introduced to Josh Gad, and Josh Gad is just this he's this delusional, paranoid, conspiracy theory, just lonely virgin gaming, living with his grandmother. Like, this is the stereotypical look into, you know, the what people think of, you know, when it comes to gamers. And that's where he discovers that out of, like, absolutely no reason at all, the videotape where it reveals that the aliens are giving coordinates so that they can then go on and give them a chance to be able to save their planet. And Josh Gad is just, I mean, he's an interesting character. Did you know that he was the voice of Olaf in Frozen? Yeah, that's been all he's been good at, because in this movie, he is not funny. He is loud. He just screams all the time. He's just, I mean, there's this few moments where, you know, you're kind of like, it's like, I didn't see what he's trying to do, but he's like all over the place, and he's not funny the slightest. And Adam Sandler is not funny at all. at all. The jokes can be seen from a mile away. He's been doing the same shtick movie after movie after movie after movie after movie. I'm just this cool guy, even though I'm a electronic installer, sort of like the Geek Squad. I'm too cool for the world around me, and like, oh, I'm like, nobody messes with me. I'm the most important person in the world. Oh, and my friend is the president of the United States, so that kind of sort of confirms it. Most of the time, you've normally seen Adam Sandler give himself these roles, like, oh, he's a head architecture, oh, he's an ad executive, oh, he's this, he's that, he's my high and mighty, and well, then he's like a normal like guy, a normal schlup, but he still gets to go to the White House willy-nilly just because, his best friend is Kevin James. And whenever there's not pixelated destruction, there are these really unfunny gaps of time where they're not saying anything. This is a paper-thin story. We've seen it all before. The sentimentality that Adam Sandler tries to kind of just hammer in, like, oh, I'm sorry, you've got divorced, Michelle Monaghan. I'm sorry, boy. Oh, Cubert, oh my God, he's so cute. It's like so cute. And I was like, oh, I gotta save the planet because then everybody dies. And it's like you're trying to get him to like him, but he's an asshole. And he's not likable, and I don't like him, and I didn't like Josh Gad. And the only likable people in this movie were Michelle Monaghan, which she is pretty to look at. I saw Michelle Monaghan recently on the first season of True Detective, and I wonder, why would she appear in this movie and waste her talent just being the hot girlfriend that Adam Sandler is contractually obligated, most probably, to have in every single movie. He has a laundry list. I mean, Noah and me have this list of who we would totally end up with and being famous. But Adam Sandler's actually literally had this in every movie. He's had Drew Barrymore. He's had Jennifer Aniston. He's had Salma Hayek, Kate Beckinsale. I mean, the list literally just goes on and on and on. And of course, here is Michelle Monaghan. And from the moment they meet, we know they're going to end up together. There's no subtlety about it. It's just, ooh, wow, you're just amazing. And even Adam Sandler goes, wow, I cannot believe I did not brush my teeth before coming over here. And the scene is just painful. Nowhere on earth would a woman like Michelle Monaghan would ever end up with somebody like Adam Sandler. It's completely unbelievable, clearly meant because the script said so, sort of stuff. So, and it keeps going. We get introduced to Peter Dinklage, which is the second thing I actually really enjoyed about the movie. The only things that I enjoyed about the movie, because Peter Dinklage, I said before, and I kind of reacted in my video when the trailer reaction is like, what are you doing here, Peter? And I have to say that if he wasn't there, I probably would have I don't know what I would have done to myself in that movie theater. And I honestly, at the same time, feel to ask the question as to why he's doing there. And I was thinking on the way over there, I'm thinking just like, I don't get why Peter Dinklage is in this movie. I mean, it took Game of Thrones to elevate him to this massive superstardom. Before that, he was the guy from Elf that kicks Will Ferrell's ass. He has had other good roles. I mean, the man can act. And he is the head bill in Game of Thrones. Clearly, he's majority of everybody's favorite character. And it only took one episode. One episode of multiple seasons, and you like him. And he's here in this movie. Why is he in here in this movie? Well, because he's a big name and he's popular and it gives your movie legitimacy, and that's it. That's all he is. He is just this rugged I think I'm the man, fire blaster. He puts heart, and he definitely is not lazy like Adam Sandler. Just looks so fucking lazy throughout all these scenes. Just it feels as though it's like, oh, okay, let's get through this thing. Okay, now we're done. Okay, like let's go do that, and we're done. Okay, now right. It just looks like effortless. It's like not effortless as in I've done this a million times and I can wail this. No, it's like literally effortless. Like effortless. Effort minus effort. And it is, oh wow, it's just, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. It's just infuriating. It's like, this is the big problem. It's an Adam Sandler movie, and it's not the good old Adam Sandler. This is the new and certainly most definitely not improved Adam Sandler. This is bad Adam Sandler. This is terrible product placement Adam Sandler. Yoo-hoo! And then there's a camera shift and it's like, oh, there's this woman holding Yoo-hoo bottles. So I was like, oh, so you said Yoo-hoo so that you could see that you meant Yoo-hoo, the thing. And Nintendo was also there in product placement. Nintendo has a lot of nerve to make people have to agree to their stupid YouTube policies, but because they want people to respect the material or some bullshit like that. But okay. Now Adam Sandler wants you, so they, you could use Donkey Kong, sure. Go ahead. It'll be in the movie, and that's another problem that I have with this movie. And this movie just plays on nostalgia to get you to go see this movie, because that is all this movie has. Nostalgia. It hopes that you're old enough to remember all of these games, and Adam Sandler is like, he's got this whole vibe, and I think I said that in the video as well, and I said, I was like, oh, it's like games nowadays, they're like this, and they used to be like that, and that's exactly what Adam Sandler does. He's telling Michelle Monaghan's kid in the movie is like, oh, in the games, you have to anticipate the pattern, you have to break the patterns down, and then the guy's like, oh, you just have to imagine that you're the other guy. It's like he's basically saying, oh, games nowadays, they're more immersive, they're more like cinematic experiences, while retro games are meant more to be like skill-based. You have to remember patterns, and you really just have to struggle. That's why most people who play those games nowadays struggle, and it's not a bad thing. It is a strategy. That's what games are supposed to be. The games are supposed to be just to challenge you, and Adam Sandler is like, well, like I'm the greatest gamer alive, and nowadays you guys are not playing real games. Very grandfatherish, like, back in my days, I used to play Galaga, and I dominated. And, well, of course, the kid is like, yeah, sure, whatever, pops. And this, oh my god, this plot is so dumb. Is so fucking dumb. And then all of a sudden is like, there's a twist. They cheat, but they don't know they cheat. And suddenly the invasion happens, and Josh Gad's fantasy video game character comes to life and tries to kill him, blah blah blah. And then the rest of the 8-bit just pour it all over you. And to be fair, the filmmakers that made those scenes possible really did a good job, but I almost feel like they shouldn't have done such a good job. This effort that you all put was for Adam Sandler. Adam Sandler. You do not need to put in that much effort. Just look at Jack and Jill. Look at Just Go With It. Look at everything he's done lately. He does not give a shit about making a good movie or a funny movie or an entertaining movie. He will draw you in with famous people, Serena Williams, Martha Stewart, Dan Patrick, everybody here. Just bring them all in. Bring them all in. Oh, yeah, okay. He'll bring you in with the nostalgia factors, like pixels. It's like, oh my god, that's Pac-Man, and the creator of Pac-Man gets his arm bit off or pixelized, and it's so funny. It's so funny. No, it's not. And I called it. I called everything that happened in this movie, with the exception of references to SJWs, and it was more like, we're like old gamers, and they don't know, new gamers, they don't know, and it's like, this is clearly this is Adam Sandler's continuation of celebrating the fact that he's old, and yet for some reason people still want him around and have him around, and they just continuously to give this man writing just like, I mean, he's not in the writing credits, but he wrote this story. He clearly is all Sandlerized. It's all Sandlerized. This is a Happy Madison movie, up to and including an appearance by Nick Swartzen, because you have to have some of your friends in. You have to bring in sports figures. You have to have celebrities. You have to have everything to remind people that you are watching an Adam Sandler movie. This movie sucks! I would have not complained if it was funny. I didn't laugh. And the action that had me in left me just depressed, because we have this much effort going into this magnificent looking movie with nothing to offer. No laughs. This movie is not memorable. This is not the worst movie I've ever seen. It's one of the worst that I've ever seen, and I'm glad I didn't pay for it. But what breaks my heart, and this is really just a sad thing, is that video game movies, they make movies based off of video game properties. It has a reputation of these movies not being successful for many factors, and they almost never work. And the ones that are better than the average ones, I mean, Nintendo learned this themselves. Super Mario Brothers has, the distinct displeasure of being the first one. It has not changed. Some have been better, some have been commercially successful, but that doesn't mean they're good. Like, looking at you, Resident Evil. And then there's you, a Bull, creating shit after shit after shit. And then you get this. This was anchored down by Adam Sandler. I mean, this is literally his fucking fault. This is a movie that is nothing but an Adam Sandler movie wrapped around in a world disaster movie, pixelized mayhem. And it breaks my heart to see all the things that Mike and Jay from Red Letter Media were talking about from Jack and Jill. It is unbelievable that you can get a man, a better director than your friend, than your friends will ever be, and bring him in and make this movie look great, and you get this talented crew, and you let your fucking production company be the ones to dictate how this movie goes, and then you come up with this. This This is just unbelievable waste of fucking potential. This is probably one of the worst movies I've ever seen in theaters. This is a terrible movie. It's a bad movie. It's an unfunny movie. And unfortunately, if you're hoping for the nostalgia factor to bring in, it will work. And sadly, it might even become a commercial success because Adam Sandler movies are easy to make. This one took a little bit more to do, but it's just the same. It's Adam Sandler showing the world he's the greatest thing ever, and in his movies, of course, he's the greatest thing ever. He's not humble. He's the one that saves the soldiers. He's the one that figures out everything. He's the greatest thing in the world. I mean, this is the greatest premise of your world getting invaded by games, and no one in the world except him can do this. No one. Absolutely no one at all. No one. No one at all. No one. It's oh my god. This is terrible. This is all rambling at this point, off the cuff. This is a long response, but I felt it was needed because I hate when laziness gets rewarded, and that's what Adam Sandler gets rewarded for, being lazy, being repetitious. He is the comedian version of Michael Bay, continues to do the same movie over and over and over and over again, continuously gets rewarded for schlock, and he continues to make movies. And you will never learn. You will never learn your lesson. I'm talking to you guys, the people who have actually paid and the people who keep buying into this. Oh, this one will be better. This one will be good. No, it won't. No, it won't. Look at this fucking... Go back to my video and pause at the moment where you see Adam Sandler's entire history, Rotten Tomatoes, and you will see all of those rotten. The ones that aren't are movies he had little to do with, like Punch Drunk Love. That's not an Adam Sandler movie. He had little to do with that. And you continue to reward him and his friends and his production company, and this is what happens. And now we got Pixels. This is by far one of the worst movies he's been in, and I mean, the fact that he used video games to try to get you to watch a movie, and it's just stupid. I mean, some people are much more butthurt about it, like Movie Bob, who, you know, he's a social justice warrior mangina who got butthurt because Josh Gad actually got his girl as a trophy. And I was like, that character's not really a real person, you know? It's not real. So, you know, it's not a real person. It's a pixelized person. You know, it's the same complaint they always do. But I'm not like that. I personally am just going to end this video by saying that Pixels is a terrible movie. Adam Sandler is a terrible comedian. Kevin James needs to get away from Adam Sandler, because if he wasn't with Adam Sandler, I'd be convinced he actually wouldn't be half bad. Because he's likable. And Peter Dinklage, never do these kind of movies ever again. You've worked hard to get to where you are. Don't see yourself get just selling yourself off to the first fucking people. And don't ever appear in another Adam Sandler movie again. Do not become one of his regulars. Please, I am begging you from the bottom of my heart. I'm begging you. You were a terrific actor. You were the best thing in this movie. Don't let him drag you down. Michelle Monaghan, I'm pretty sure she's not going to be in another Adam Sandler movie. And I stand by for what I'm about to say here. And if this fucking movie gets a sequel, Doubt that it'll get a sequel. But if by some cruel and unusual punishment from a universe that is upset with us for some reason decides to throw a curveball to our lives and make Adam Sandler want to do another movie like this, I will fucking scream to the top of my lungs. I mean, it's bad enough that we're getting another Alvin and the Chipmunks movie, and on my birthday, nonetheless. We're also getting we would also be getting another shitty Adam Sandler movie. But rest assured, I'm pretty sure that won't happen. Adam doesn't do many sequels. But if the money flows, you bet your ass he's going to do it. His laziness knows no bounds. He loves getting paid just to stand around and do nothing and, you know. Oh my fucking God. This movie is just nothing. It gets nothing. I'm not giving it anything. I didn't give it money. I'm not giving it a rating. This movie fucking sucks. So, that's it. You have any comments? You have any opinions? You want anything to just want to say down below? Let me know down in the comments down below. This will probably be the only movie review that I'll do on my gaming channel, but I felt I had to do it because this, you know, it was sold on retro gaming, so I had to kind of felt obliged to kind of do this. So, what do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments below. And thank you so much for watching. And Adam Sandler, you won't quit acting. You won't quit trying to fleece people. You won't quit on being a money-grubbing product placement whore that you are. Nobody will stop you. Hey, that's fine. But what you are doing is not acting or comedy. What you are doing is stealing money from people. So, hope you sleep good at night. Which he probably is. Nice and comfy. His wife was in his movie, by the way. Just there because. Just because. And, pretty looking wife too, so congratulations for you. And, you can go fuck yourself. All of you. Happy Madison, everyone. Every single one of you. Kevin James and Nick Swartzen and David Spade and every single fucking one of you. Go fuck yourselves. All of you.